Okay, so let's get right into it. Look, we're not here to talk about just surviving pressure. We're talking about having a real strategy to actually thrive on it, to use every single setback to build your authority and command respect. This is all about forging what we call your resilience core.
And honestly, that's the bottom line, isn't it? The stakes are incredibly high. The way you handle adversity isn't just some personal test. It's a public verdict on your strength and, ultimately on your right to lead.
That is the million-dollar question, right? When the world really puts you to the test, a project fails, a client walks out, what is the one thing that separates those who crumble from those who command? Let's break down the actual mechanics of it. Think of it like this. Every setback, big or small, is a spotlight, and it shines directly on your foundation for everyone to see. It's in these moments that your authority is either forged in fire or it's shattered into a million pieces. There's really no hiding. So you've got two paths in front of you here. On one side, you have the fragile response, panic, retreat. That path just screams weakness, and your presence, your authority, it just dissolves. But on the other side, the resilient response, you're calm, you're deliberate. This doesn't just get you through the crisis, it actively builds your authority right in front of everyone. So the very first pillar in building this core is a concept that is just so powerful, anti-fragility. And this isn't just about bouncing back. No, it's about using the force of that hit to bounce back stronger than you ever were before. And let's be super clear on what this means. Anti-fragility means that stressors, shocks, failures, they aren't threats. They are fuel. They are the raw material you get to use to level up your capability. You're basically turning chaos into your personal training ground. And this just lays it all out perfectly. The fragile person, the fragile system, avoids chaos because any kind of stress causes it to break. The anti-fragile person, though, they actually use chaos like a forge to grow stronger. So the real question you have to ask yourself is this: are you running from stress or are you putting it to work? And hey, this isn't just some abstract theory. Let's look at a real-world example. Sarah, her first company completely failed. Her investors walked. For most people, that would have been the end of the story. But Sarah, she operated differently. So here's what she did. She didn't see failure as some final verdict on her. No, she saw it as a data set. She dug in, analyzed exactly what went wrong, refined her entire strategy based on that hard-won intelligence, and then she walked into her next pitch stronger than ever. And guess what? She secured the funding. That, right there, is anti-fragility in action. This brings us perfectly to the second pillar. This is the internal operating system that makes anti-fragility even possible in the first place. It's the growth mindset. It really all comes down to how you frame what happens to you. At its core, the growth mindset is just the simple belief that your abilities are not set in stone. So a setback isn't some final judgment on who you are or what you can do. It's just a lesson. It's critical intelligence that you can use to get better. You know, that internal monologue is what really matters. The fixed mindset says, I'm done. It sees loss as the final word, and that just kills your will to go on. But the growth mindset asks a different question. What can I learn from this? It transforms that exact same loss into data that fuels your next move. That little switch in your head, it changes the entire game. Let's look at another one. Mike, a sales rep, lost a huge client, and his immediate gut reaction, that fixed mindset, was, that's it. I failed. I'm done. And his confidence just evaporated. You could see it. His whole team could see it. But then he made the shift. Instead of just spiraling, he treated that loss like a case study. He went back and analyzed every single misstep, every wrong assumption. He rebuilt his pitch based on that brutal analysis, and he went back out there. The result? He started winning even bigger deals. He turned what could have been a career-ending loss into a career-defining lesson. Okay, so we've covered the mindset, the theory. Now, let's get into the mechanics. This is not about hoping you'll be resilient when the time comes. It's about training for it every single day. This is your battle plan, a set of non-negotiable daily drills. All right, this battle plan breaks down into 5 core drills. We're going to walk through each one. They are simple, they're actionable, and they are designed to systematically build your resilience from the ground up. So the first drill is arguably the most important. It's the failure reframe. The second you experience a setback, and I mean any setback, you immediately, right then and there, pull out a journal and write down 3 lessons you just learned. And then you define one single action you will take to move forward.
This trains your brain to instinctively look for the lesson, not the loss. Drill number 2 is stress inoculation. It's dead simple. 30 seconds of a cold shower every single day. Why? Because you're teaching your mind and body to stay calm and deliberate under voluntary, controlled stress. You're building that mental toughness in a safe, low-stakes environment, so when the real pressure hits, you're already trained for it. And these last 3 drills really lock in the habit. First up, the recovery ritual. This forces you to write a comeback plan within 24 hours of any failure. Next, the anti-fragile mindset drill. Every week, you list one challenge and how it made you stronger. And finally, the resilience anchor. You memorize one powerful quote that you can recall the second you feel that pressure mounting. So let's bring this all home. The goal here was never just to get through it or survive. It's to have a concrete, repeatable strategy that lets you thrive through adversity, to systematically use every challenge to your advantage. And let's be perfectly clear about this. Anti-fragility, the growth mindset, these daily drills, this isn't some motivational fluff. This is the practical, nuts and bolts mechanics of building real-world strength. It's about literally rewiring your response to stress so that earning respect and building authority become the natural outcomes. Because make no mistake about it, your next setback is already on its way. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when. So the only question that actually matters is this. When it arrives, is it going to shatter you? Or is it going to be the raw material you use to build something even stronger? The choice is yours.